My first gig was doing the local fashion show at Mayfair Mall. And I had braces in my teeth, and I had a mullet, and I had to keep my mouth closed. They told me to keep the mouth closed so they didn't see the braces. And I was like 14 years old and wearing these like very mature woman's clothing with my mouth closed, like this, going down the runway.
Shortly after, Tara was spotted by European talent scouts. And in 1989, using up family savings, her parents accompanied her to castings in Milan and Hamburg.
They did come to Europe with me, and I had a bit of bad luck. They left a window, this wasn't their fault, but they left a window open like this much, and mosquitoes came in the night. I woke up feeling kind of like my face was sort of stiff, and I sat up and I was swollen and red and covered in bumps, and I had been bitten like 30 times by mosquitoes. That was it for the first modeling trip. So my parents came with me on this trip. I got to see Europe, but I didn't get to do any work. But I feel really glad that we were able to do that trip, because the following year, my mom became very sick and passed away. So I think if I hadn't been, scouted by that modeling agency and gone on that trip, which wasn't very successful professionally, we wouldn't have had that really important and special time together as a family in Europe.
Can you tell me what happened to Mum?
Yeah, she had multiple myeloma, which is a rare form of cancer. And she was one of the first 100 people in the world to get a bone marrow transplant for multiple myeloma. And sadly, she didn't survive the transplant. And I remember the next morning waking up and just like it seemed impossible to me that the sun rose and life went on and people went about their days and my mum was gone. I remember hearing in the house, crying at night and realizing it was my dad alone. And, they'd been married for 25 years and they were a team, and he lost his love. And I just remember hearing these little noises at night and realizing that he was crying by himself in his room with his partner gone, and that was shattering. Her passing lit a fire under me, and I needed to feel like I was worth the sacrifice she made to try to stay alive for me.
Wow.
There was a picture of one of my modeling jobs on the wall in the hospital where my mom's bed was for that couple of months. She was proud of me, and she knew that that was something that I wanted to do, and she was backing me. And something about having that picture there, it was like I needed to go and make good on the promise that was there, that I was going to be successful in some way. I mean, I threw myself in the deep end, literally, and just like, as 16-year-old, was living in London and Paris and Milan and like...
On your own, by yourself?
On my own.
Driven by a desire to honour her mother's belief in her, a teenage Tara took on a cutthroat industry she knew nothing about. Did you feel a pressure to have to stay skinny or a certain shape,
Definitely, yeah. I was always told I was too big, which is kind of hysterical in hindsight because I'm quite gangly naturally. Like, this is sort of how I am. And at one point, I became what's commonly called Paris thin. It's like what you see in some of those fashion shows, and very angular, like my cheekbones could cut glass, And sent a picture like that to my dad, and he saw the photo and was really worried. And he expressed his concern for me, and that is what snapped me out of it. I was worth something beyond my weight, to someone who loves me, and that was enough for me to tell the agency to get stuffed. And I left, and I started working only with people who were happy with me the way I was.
Yes, yes.
That meant I did a lot of swimwear modeling because I didn't have to fit into a dress.
Yes.
But, I was healthy at the time, and I looked great and, enjoyed things, but I was not going to diet, and they could just get stuffed as far as I was concerned.
Good on you.